I'm Megan. I am a PhD student at the University of Iceland in the Department of History. So I'm a little bit different from most people who presented so far, both maybe department-wise, geographically, and time period, but that's okay. I did my BA at Brock University in Canada and my master's at Memorial University of Newfoundland, both in history. And yes, now I'm in Iceland. I'm a little bit more earlier in my career than the rest of you. So my presentation is more focused on the project I'm working on right now for my dissertation. So my project looks at vaðmál. This is a woolen homespun cloth from the medieval period, and I'm exploring how a material item impacts the social world. My focus is on the 11th to 14th century CE. So this is the rise, peak, and decline of this cloth as the main export good, but it continued to be important for many centuries more as an export for domestic use in Iceland itself. This homespun cloth was used both as a functional cloth item and as the main currency and export item in the medieval period. The homespun production and international trade was very important for the import of necessities and foreign goods that couldn't be found or produced in the new colony in Iceland, such as flour, wine, and wax. And its export also funded journeys for Icelanders to travel back to the continent, where they were able to participate in foreign politics, commerce activities, receive a more formal education, and in general, they brought back cultural goods and ideas to share with other Icelanders in Iceland. So for my project, I'm interested in the economic, social, and cultural impact of this homespun cloth. It was a currency item produced in the household, but it had a large geographical sphere as it was used both domestically as cloth for various types of payments in exchange or trade in kind. So you could measure in terms of what a cow was worth in cloth or an amount of land worth in cloth in the sphere of commerce and politics, but also exported and traded abroad for international use. So I'm looking in my project at the specific context and types of payments where cloth was used as money, but also how this overlaps with or is different from vaðmál's meaning and use as physical cloth. This project looks at homespun cloth production in terms of gender relations, space use, labor and work activities on the farm homestead, but also how the cloth was used as money that facilitated relationships outside of production, as it was used as payment to form marriage alliances through dowry payments and compensation payments for killings, and in terms of inheritance for movable goods that could be used to establish new households. So here I'm looking at the farmstead as the center of different types of social activity, including social bonds in the household, labor, politics, and commerce. And this project also looks at homespun in terms of increasing standardization and the regulation of production, especially with the rise of legally enforced measurement standards when it was used as currency. So if it used as money, there was regulations concerning the width and the thread count of the cloth. Here I'm focusing on the role of the housewife in the household as the manager of household resources, and also of the husband and wife team as like heads of household, and the strategies that they made in terms of the decisions they made for the household as individuals, as a couple, as a household, or as members of the wider community. And I'm looking at textile skills as reproduced knowledge and what that means in terms of education and practical skills training, and also possible restriction of that knowledge. So another way my project is maybe a little bit different than those who have presented so far is that I'm using historical texts for my sources, mainly Icelandic sagas, annals, contracts, and law codes, rather than focusing on specific objects or cloth pieces. So part of my interest in this cost project is learning from the perspective of different fields and comparing across cultures and time periods. and learning more information about technical skills and the actual making of cloth products, as these are important to fill the gaps in historical documents that historical documents leave, and to gain information about the activities of the actual makers of these cloth items, who were mainly women in Iceland, but they get lost or written out of the historical record. So that's my project I'm working on now, but I'm also interested in embroidery and cross stitch, and also knitting, which still plays a significant role in Iceland's economy and tourism today. So yeah, thank you. That's my project, and I'm excited to absorb the knowledge and experience of the group members who maybe are further in their careers, and I'm looking forward to this collaboration. Thank you.